Excellent, thank you. Yes, Jenny, everyone is awesome. I'm glad someone brought that up. I want to make sure I don't miss anything in the questions. Okay. Oops. And then the next one, and then you'll come back to your agenda. All right. If we have my part. Yes, excellent. Here's my welcome with the lovely hearts for all you do. And then I'd like to go over a bit of what we're doing now on the strategy point of view. So if we could move to the next slide. And actually the one after that, just that we can jump into it. So I think we've shared before that the national organization has been engaging in strategic planning for the next 3-year cycle for fiscal year or membership year 2026 through membership year 2029. As a council, we are going to align ourselves with that national strategy, but we're going to bring it to what works here in New Hampshire and Vermont. So we're not just going to necessarily follow everything that we do. We're going to develop our own based upon what we need. So we have started this process. And right now we are in phase 1, situational analysis. We then will move to strategic planning, where we'll create insights so that we'll be able to make decisions. And then phase 3 will be operational alignment, where we take those decisions made in phase 2 and we plan out how the year is going to go or how the next 3 years will go with our goals. May I have the next slide, please? Okay, so just a little bit on the timeline so you all understand what we are doing. The situational analysis has kicked off. It will take about 4 weeks for some of our teams, 6 weeks because of different work that they're doing, and we're covering 6 focus areas. After that, the teams will be reporting out. We're going to record them for the board of directors, and the board of directors will come together with the senior staff to really define our goals and strategies. And we will leave that retreat with our strategic goals established and actually our high-level tactics established and selected by the board of directors. Then we're going to refine that post-retreat. The staff will refine it to see how we can actually carry that out, bring it back to the board, and we will align all that we do operationally with those goals. Then we follow by our budgets. Budgets have to be done by August, so it's going to be a relatively quick turnaround in the middle of the summer. May I have the next slide, please?
You get peppermint oil.
Well, peppermint oil would be great, Elizabeth.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So for the strategic, the situational analysis, this is a really data-driven process, and they claim that there are 6 function areas, but let me just go over what there are. So there's market awareness. We know people don't always recognize what we do. Our brand is well known, but what we do and that we still exist is not known in every community that we cover in our 2 states. The second is DEIRJ. Girl Scouts is committed to ensuring that all girls have the ability to participate in Girl Scouting. And so we're really going to look at the metrics and whether we serve those who we should serve across our population. And if not, how can we ensure that we are being inclusive, that we're involving all, that we are providing racial justice? So really, how are we going to get to diversity, equity, inclusion, and racial justice? The third situational analysis function is really looking at our current strategy. Where have we been successful and where have we failed to make the mark? And find out what didn't work so we don't make those same mistakes again, or that we change up how we're doing things. Fourth analysis area is mission delivery. This is a huge one for our organization, and it's actually broken down into 4 different teams as a result, because mission and delivery includes girl programming, which includes camp, STEM, life skills, all that we do with our badges, everything along those lines. And you might say, hey, Tricia, there's a 4th pillar. Well, product program is such a huge portion of what we do, both from finances and then programming. We know it's stressful. So product program will have its own team looking at that and how we support our volunteers, our troops, and everything we do in that line. Another team will be looking at our volunteer support. Are our service units healthy? Do we have the right volunteer roles? What changes can we make with regards to our volunteer support? And then the fourth mission delivery focus will be on customer care and retail, which are only here to support our mission and what we do. And then the fifth analysis will be people and operations, which is really human resources. We just did our HR policies last spring, so those are all up to date, but do we have people in the right roles given our new goals and strategy coming forward? And the final analysis is on finance and revenue, which is our operating budget, capital budget, and then also fund development. What can we do to improve our public support? So that's the first part, situation analysis. These are really data-driven research models. We have those staff who are really deeply embedded with these, but really the staff who are our data experts will be really driving this forward. Does anyone have any questions on the situation analysis or on our strategy work so far? I just want to make sure. Excellent. I'm just glad everyone's awesome. So if I can move on to the next slide. Leading into our strategy work, we began our long-range property planning process last fall. And so I wanted to make sure you were all brought up to date on what the long-range property planning task group, it's a mouthful, has been doing. So we've got some recommendations that the committee has been thinking about, or the task group, and I thought I would bring those forward to you. So we have, this is our committee. It's made up of folks across our jurisdiction with all sorts of different areas of expertise. Many are on the call here tonight, and they have been broken down into a program pillar and a facilities pillar. May I have the next slide? So one of the things, the facility portion has really, they've toured our properties. They've looked at what we need to do. They know what the properties look like. And now they have created brainstorming. Well, they brainstormed, and then they created an analysis as what is a critical priority? What really has to be done? And then another priority is what's necessary for asset protection. We don't want to lose our facilities because of deferred maintenance. So what must we do there? Priority 3 would be program improvements. And for that, we are still waiting on some input from the program team, but these are not critical much as we would love to do them. And program priority 4 is aesthetic improvement. Like if you'd rather have roses planted somewhere, that would be an aesthetic improvement. But if we don't need it for asset protection, then it's going to be at the bottom of our list. But they are perfect things for volunteers or troops to do. So let me move to the next slide, and I'll share with you where we stand with our brainstorming. And there's a lot of words on this slide, so I am not going to read it, but I wanted to let you know that the green is what we consider high priority items. And so we will be looking into these and getting prices on at Twin Hills, creating a covered area for fires, for cooking, for campfires. Right now, all the fires are open because the 2 covered buildings have failed chimney inspections. So we really have to look at if we have a different solution, or if we can in any way repair the chimney for the pavilion. And I know some of you have helped us find people to give us some estimates and look at that work. The second item is the Adirondack roofs desperately need to be replaced. And we want to have an electrician assess the electrical situation in the pavilion and in the Pixie cabin before we move forward with any other work in those buildings. We want to make sure that they're safe. And then you'll notice we're talking about in every property, really almost all of them, bathroom facilities. The girls spoke loud and clear in our surveys that bathroom facilities close to the cabins are a necessity. And the Twin Hills bathrooms are quite far from the cabins. So we must work on that. The girls have also asked for changing areas, and we recognize parents and volunteers have also asked for greater privacy for changing. So those are some additional items we're going to look at. You're welcome to see all of this. If you want to give us feedback after, you're welcome to do so. Can I move to the next slide? Because I know you have a lot going on tonight. At Seawood, a critical item is the furnace. Seawood is a year-round, 2 year-round structures, and the furnace is on its last legs. We've been piecing it together practically with duct tape, so that needs to be repaired. We need the ADA ramp improved for Ranger's roof so it's fully compliant, and to provide accessibility for that building. And then we have excess moisture currently in those buildings, which will cause long-term damage if it's not discovered where it's leaking and repaired. And then you'll see, as far as long-term maintenance of the cabins, we really need to get them cleaned, stained, and painted so that we can start removing bugs and get those all cleaned. And that's true across the entire board of our camps. The next slide, please. At Kettleford, many of you know we had damage there last year, so quite a bit of work was done, but the #1 priority across all of our properties is actually a bathroom at Kettleford. There is right now no working bathrooms at Kettleford, unless maybe, but there are no working bathrooms. So we have gotten quotes to dig those, to dig up the pipes and some other issues, and we will be repairing those bathrooms. We also want to see if the lodge, if the floor joists are any good for it to hold any other work or improvements. And if so, if the floor joints are solid, some new flooring on that area. And then, as I mentioned at Twin Hills, changing areas are a necessity. Doing some lodge repairs, similar to what we were talking about with the pavilion, if that's structurally sound. And then getting some shade structure for some of the cabins at Kettleford, which have no trees anywhere near them, and they get very, very hot in the summer. Okay, and you can read any of the other ideas. Can I go to the next slide? Excellent. At Farnsworth, our #1 priority is to remove some old electrical conduit that is in the outer units from when buildings were there in the past, and those buildings have been removed or moved. And so we really need to make sure the conduit is securely removed for the safety of the girls. And then the cabins, the K-Flick cabins are quite old. We prop them up every year, but it's time to start looking at replacing the K-Flick cabins. But it's not a priority as much as all of the others, despite my property team's wishes and hopes. And then we just need to fix up we do a lot of mouse holes with foam, and we just want to make sure they're all clean and set. And then you can see there's a bunch of other ideas as money and time allows. But if anyone wants to volunteer to get in the water and cut lily pads, you just let us know. We've got a project for you. And finally, on the next slide, we have one additional property we own, which is the Bedford Service Center. And we want to add a dedicated program space into that. So our volunteers and troops in that region can access the property after hours and use the program space without going through the store or going into our offices. And in the Burlington region, for those who have been on the calls before, but not for our newbies, we're looking for a Dream Lab, which is really a program space for the Chittenden County and greater area. So we have several narrowed it down to about 3 sites that we're getting estimates for, both for rent and fit up costs. And we're hoping we can be moving forward with that very soon. I have never seen such a slow process, but it is extraordinarily slow. So that is where we stand with our long-range property work and our strategy work. And with that, I will turn this over to Amanda for the rest of your meeting.
Thank you, Tricia. I am going to stop sharing and then reshare so that I can reshare my slides properly, as we have a troop tonight that's going to do this troop spotlight. So give me just a moment. Okay, so hopefully this is going to do what it's supposed to. So I am going to turn this over to Louisa Cartier, and she's going to talk to us about her troupe.
Hi. So we have a Daisy troupe in Meredith with 10 girls from about 4 surrounding towns. And I guess the focus here is on the Daisy experience boxes. That was a promotion this year from Girl Scout USA. So because we were a new troupe, we got a box every month with supplies to do activities. Most of them deal with the daisy petals. Some of them have been about badges, and the boxes have been a really great way for us to get going with a new troupe. I don't know, Amanda, if there's something else you wanted me to talk about. Oh, so I guess I can explain. This is an example of one of the activities. So this had to do with the Cookie Entrepreneur Badge. And so you can see in the picture in the center, these are the lesson plans that come with the box. So for each lesson plan, there's like an opening activity, and there's usually a coloring page to go with that for the girls to do when they first get there. Then there's information about how to do the opening ceremony and what kind of questions to ask to get them started on the topic for the day. Then there's usually 2 or 3 activities. So what you're looking at there, one of the activities for this Cookie Entrepreneur Badge was to build like a mini cookie booth and decorate it. And then the girls had puppets that they used to be the customers and the cookie sellers so that they could practice before they went and did their actual booth. And so there's all the girls with their finished cookie booths there.
And I believe Louisa, this was a video.
Oh, I guess there's a video.
Cookies. Would you come and get your cookies? That's what most people say. Sure.
Yep. So this is called a sales pitch,
You got a line of
which is
lots
a
of
really
people.
fancy way of saying when somebody's trying to sell you something, that's what they do to try to sell you something. Okay, and that's called a
That was super cute.
So basically that it's been a great experience using these boxes. We haven't had to buy any supplies. When things need to be colored, there's markers in the box. When things need to be taped or cut, there's scissors and everything in the box. So it gives us activities, but it's also helped us as a new troupe to build up a supply cache, because now we have all these markers and paints and things that we can use even next year when we don't have these boxes anymore.
That's great. Louisa, I saw a question in the chat. Someone was wondering if your troop had a favorite box or month that you did.
Oh, what was a favorite? Well, there was one where you had to color a dragon mask and then pretend to be a dragon family and talk about what rules you would have in your house. That was for the respect authority pedal. So the girls really liked that just because they got to pretend to be dragons. But they really like the coloring stuff too. So those have been favorites also. Anytime that there's some kind of a crafting thing, like with the building the cookie booths, they really like to do crafts.
That's great. Thank you for sharing that. We're wondering too, did you plan anything like to add to the boxes, like field trips, etc., to go with what they were learning?
Yes, so we usually try once a month to do a Saturday or Sunday activity. So we've done several things. When we were doing Respect Authority, we did a fire station tour. When we were doing one of the early petals, I can't remember off the top of my head which one it was. we went and did a service project. And what we did was we went on a hike and picked up trash in the woods as part of that pedal.
That's great. Sounds like you've been having a great time together.
Yeah, and the best part of the boxes as a new troop was there's so much that you have to learn, especially with cookie season and figuring out like how to do all of those Girl Scout things, that having the boxes took that one thing off of our plate. We knew the meetings were all set. We just needed to review them and make some adjustments for the time that we had. But otherwise, we didn't have to spend a lot of time figuring out what to do at the meeting. So that let us concentrate on figuring out how to be Girl Scout leaders.
That's great. I'm so glad to hear that you had such a good experience with it. We're really excited too because starting next year, we're going to have from GSUSA, they're making these available for the Brownie level as well. So new Daisy troops and new Brownie troops are going to be able to benefit from these wonderful boxes. So we're very excited to see that. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Louisa.
You're
I didn't
welcome.
see any other big questions for you. We really appreciate you sharing. I did see someone asking if experienced leaders could buy the kits. Because they come from GSUSA, we don't have the option to purchase them. We do have programs on demand that you could do with our program team, though. I know they would be happy to come to with the STEM van or come to a program. They love to get out there and work with the troops.
I have a quick question, and it's for Ursula. She doesn't mind me asking it here. When you say you would like these for the experienced troop leaders, would you need supplies, or are you just looking for the program ideas?
The program ideas and the troop, what do you call it? The online troop.
The volunteer toolkit?
What's it called? Yes. Thank you. I'm really exhausted today. Is helpful, but for multi-level troops, I have daisies through cadets, and it's been easy. It's easy for me to plan for daisies and brownies, but I feel like the juniors and cadets get the short end of the stick. And my parents, my co-leaders, and the other volunteers who happen to be parents of the kids, they're not really all that interested in planning. They're happy to help, but so anyway, I just think it's such a cool idea, and that activity, the activities that you just showed, Louisa, are like really super cool. So I'm a little jealous. Can I like quit and then become a new leader again?
Hey, well, I've written this down as how can we do this? So
Yeah, and maybe
why my
it's a way to, maybe it's a great thing for the retail shop, because I like our troop would invest in something like that, I think.
great. Well, thank you. Now I'll turn my audio off again.
Okay, thank you very much. I believe Kimberly has her hand raised.
Hi, I am new to leading. I took over a Westford troop in Vermont, and the toolkit is very hard online, but I really like the old school pamphlets that you guys used to have that I think are going away. The ones that had all of, like, it's like a brochure, but it says
In the
like,
in the handbook, the troop, the badge guides.
yeah, hold on, I'll grab one. I don't think it's a badge guide.
I can share that there is a national team looking at the volunteer toolkit.
So this, I love these because it's so very simple to find all the information to use, opposed to that toolkit, which I find very confusing. Like, this is very simple because it tells you, like, step 1, choose this, this, or this. Like, it gives you special ideas, and it goes through all the steps, and it's very simple. It's very simple to understand and easy to use. where I find that toolkit is really hard. And I too have a mixed group. Right now, we're just daisies and brownies, but come the fall, we're going to have daisies, brownies, and juniors.
Absolutely, Kimberly. I can see how I can understand where you're coming from. I do know that we have some other options for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Amanda Powell's team reach out to you tomorrow and see if they can help you figure out where some of these best options for you are, so that we can make sure you get what you need to be successful. And any other questions?
I was just going to say we also have a multi-level troop, and I was just going to say that I go online and find the pages and print them out. So I still have that guide in front of me. Sometimes it's a challenge to find them because when I go to the toolkit, it doesn't always give me the information that I'm looking for. But if you continue to look hard enough, eventually you can find it. So I just print them all out because it is easier to have that in front of you. I agree with her. But you can find them is what I'm saying. Even if they're not in the book, the new badges, you can find them online and then print them out.
It would just be nice
Awesome.
if they were somewhere together that was easier access, like just so I didn't have to dig so hard. Because as troop leaders, like there's already so much we're doing in addition to like my own kids and our personal life and jobs. Like to have to spend an hour to try to find one thing is very frustrating when I just need it at my fingertips. And with those brochures, I just pay the $3 and it's here. I have everything.
Yeah, I do agree. It is time consuming.
Yeah. And I want to thank all of you who've just spoken up because this is very important information as we develop our strategy for the future, especially around volunteer support, to find something that works for our volunteers and to really give consideration to what you've told us and see what we can do. You know, even if it's different than what the national organization might do. So thank you for sharing tonight.
Yeah, the other
Okay.
frustrating part of that, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but the other frustrating part of that is not always knowing when badges have been discontinued. Because we have worked on badges and had the girls go all the way through a badge, and then I go to get them and they're like, oh, that was discontinued, you know, way back when. So if there's some way where those we could actually get emails saying, you know, these badges are discontinued this year, so we don't waste all that time working on those badges and then not be able to give the girls a patch to have.
Absolutely. It's something
Possibility.
definitely for us to look into for you. I know there is some notifications that go out, but I'll talk with Amanda Powell tomorrow and make sure that we're where they're going out and how they're going out so that they're accessible to everyone.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you very much, Cindy. Is there anybody else who had any questions? Okay, I'm going to attempt to start sharing again. I apologize, but whenever I was sharing before, I lost most control of my screen. So let's do this again and make sure I don't lose anything. So let's try this again. Okay, so it looks like I still have some of my screen. So, as always, if you know a troop that has done something absolutely wonderful, take a great trip, you know, fantastic badge, please nominate them to come do one of these troop spotlights. We like to share as much information as possible and help drive some conversations and some different ideas. All of us like to hear what's going on and see the awesome things the girls do. I am going to go on to the next slide, which is still me. I'm Amanda LeClaire, if I didn't introduce myself earlier. I'm the Director of Membership, and I have membership numbers here for us real quick. You will see that as of close of business last night, we had about 5,437 girls, 2,175 adults with 1,611 that additional lifetime members. That is an awesome number for those lifetime memberships. And we have retention rates overall of 72.6, and our adult and lifetime rate is 79.2, girl retention 68.1. This gives us a great start, but we are still about 3% down from where we were at this point last year. As you know, we are still doing many, many things. I'll put a link in the chat if you have availability to come and help us at some recruitment events or have anything going on in your area that you think we need to know about. Please do share that with us so that we can make sure we're reaching everyone in the best ways that we possibly can. I appreciate everything that everyone has done for us this year and all the hard work all of our volunteers have put in. And we can't replace anything that you guys do. You guys do so much, and we really appreciate it. And I believe next I'm going to turn this over to Amanda Powell.
That's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Powell. I'm our council's team lead for volunteer support. You can pop to the next slide, Amanda. These are my lovely team members. We all work together to provide support for our troops in New Hampshire and Vermont. Next slide, please. Some quick reminders. We have some great adult training opportunities. I can offer youth mental health first aid at $25 a person. We do have some financial assistance available for that. Youth mental health first aid will teach you how to provide, excuse me, first aid in a mental health crisis, the same way that first aid teaches you how to provide that in a physical health crisis. There is some virtual pre-work and then a live session that is about 4 to 5 hours that can be done either virtually or in person. It's really wonderful training with lots of great information. If you're interested in learning more about how to support youth mental health, I strongly recommend taking this. And not just because that means I get to spend a whole day with you, because I love training it. The other training we have available for no fee is Positive Behavior Interventions and Supports, or PBIS. This is a system of supporting and promoting positive behaviors through positive interventions and making some changes in our structure and environment versus kind of reacting to negative behaviors we don't see. So it's a really nice way of shifting your frame of mind and thinking about ways to support the positive behaviors we do want to see. And we also always have conflict resolution training available on demand on GS Learn. If you would like to take that, just send customer care a quick email and we can get that added for you to take. Next slide, please. And as we know, we are in April, and that means it is early renewal time. Just something for you to tuck away in your minds as you talk about renewal with your troop members. Our membership year runs from October 1st to September 30th, and the price for this coming year will be $60 for the girls and $30 for the adults. As you're talking to folks that might be excited to join your troop or start their own troop, let them know that we have the extended year membership available for new members. This is a great opportunity where they can get started now and continue all the way through the next Girl Scout year. So this extended year runs from April 1st all the way through September 30th, 2026. And that would be $83 for the girls and $42 for the adults. Just keep in mind that that extended year is not offered to renewing members, as you're already going to have part of that membership already paid for from last year. So this is for our newly joining members. Next slide, please. And just a quick fun little heads up, my team has started to do some working days from our camps, just so we can get out to Vermont, get out to different parts of New Hampshire. We're gonna start adding in some different locations out in different areas that aren't just our camps, but we thought it would be fun to start by doing working days at camp. We did our first ones last month. out at Farnsworth and Seawood, I had a troop come out and visited me. We had a wonderful chat about troop travel. It was nice to be able to meet with people in person and enjoy the nice weather. So you can come find us this April on the 22nd. We'll have staff both at Farnsworth and Seawood from 10:30 to 6:30. And on 5/21 in May, same Farnsworth and Seawood at 10:30 to 6:30. And that will be volunteer support, membership support staff. So we'd be happy to sit down with you, chat with you about all things Girl Scouty, do some trainings, answer questions, just chit chat, have a coffee. Like, we're here just to say hi. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I'm gonna put an eye on the chat. Otherwise, thanks for letting me chat at you for a little bit.
Thank you very much, Amanda. And I believe that our next.
Amanda, before you move on, you do have a question in the chat. I don't know if you want to answer that verbally.
Yes, from Kate, asking if adults is the adult membership the adult membership fee is $30 if it covers the cost of background checks. The $30 is a membership fee that covers your membership for the entire membership year, as well as things as an insurance and such like that. We do not charge you for the background checks. The background checks do tend to run significantly more than the $30. That is something that as a council, we cover that fee 100%.
And maybe, Amanda, also good to note that that $30 goes directly to Girl Scouts of the USA to cover their operations and all the support that they provide to council. So none of that $30 goes to our local council.
Absolutely. I'm checking real quick if there was any other, I don't see any other questions in the chat. I don't see anyone else's hands raised, so I will go ahead and move on to the next one, which should be Girl Experience.
Hi, everyone. For those of you that haven't met me yet, my name's Sam. I'm the director of Girl Experience. And so our team is the people that you'll see when you go to programs at camps a lot of times, or if we come to you for on-demand programs, and just run a lot of the programming that happens from the council and the summer camp programming, as well as virtual programming. So on this page here, we just have a couple pictures from our recent programs. One of our virtual cooking classes that are always a big hit, and one from our winter lodge program that happened this winter. You can't see the snow, but there is snow on the ground outside of the porch. Next slide. Great. So just in matching the need for programming, or for easy programming, especially for older girls, one of the ways that you can engage with us, and hopefully we can help you, is through the on-demand programming that happens year-round. We have a variety of different types of programming, some badge related, some non-badge related, some for specific troop levels, some for mixed troop levels, and we're also open to suggestions as well, but that's all on our website. So you are able to go to the link that Strings just put in the chat and find our programs that are on demand and pick dates and times that work for you, and we'll work with you on fitting the best fit for our facilitators as well. Also happening where we come to you is our traveling STEM van. We are very filled up for our April month in Vermont, but we still do have spots open for New Hampshire in May. So there's 3 programs to choose from there, and you can again pick the event time and location, and we'll come to you. And Strings will continue to put all of these in the chat. So if you need the links, definitely a quick place to look there. And then new, we just released, Strings worked very hard on creating a 3D printing program. So this is something that troops and girls of all ages can do right at home with a free program called Tinkercad. And they get the plans, they sign up for our program, and they're able to create these pieces on their own and send in the designs back to us to get it actually printed at our 3D printer, which currently lives at Strings house. And then we will make sure to get it to you. You could either arrange for a pickup or get it shipped to you for a small cost as well. So those are pictures of the 3 current pieces that you can design, but there are more in the works as well. I could go to the next one. Great. In case you haven't heard, summer is right around the corner, even with the snow. And so please keep in mind that our summer registration is still open. We have both overnight camp opportunities as well as day camp opportunities, a variety of locations across our council. You can see the list there. Farnsworth is our overnight camp, in case you're not aware, and the others are day camps. We have both staff-run day camps as well as the last two on the list, Green Mountain Day Camp and Camp Whispering Pines, are volunteer-led day camps. And so if you're curious about those or have questions, you can reach out to us at any time. But we do have some scheduled Q&As or virtual chats where you can join us and find out about camp, hear a little presentation. And so one on April 17th focuses on our day camps, and the next one for our overnight camp is on May 6th. Also, if troops, girls, families want to come to camp and check it out before they attend camp, or if they're still on the fence about coming to camp, they can come join us for a free day at camp. So it's a fun opportunity just to get outside, maybe with your troop or group, or be able to explore a little bit, as well as participate in some simple camp activities and get to know the directors and maybe a couple of camp staff and ask them questions. Those are all coming up here. And so on May 3rd is our first one at Camp Farnsworth. We have two on May 17th, so you could decide which one you want to go to, if it's Kettleford or Twin Hills. And then we have May 18th is Camp Seawood. All of them are between 12 and 2, so we encourage you to bring a picnic lunch and enjoy that at camp. And then, of course, a plug for camp staff. We are looking for camp staff for all locations. So if you know of anyone, ideally 18 or older, but our day camps, and there are some spots for 16 or older staff as well. We also are open to adult volunteers and adult staff. So if you have availability in your summer schedule or know someone that could be a good fit for camp, even if they can't work the whole summer, we'd be happy to talk with them and see what might be a good fit. And we do have some great benefits for adult staff as well, including discounted and comped camp weeks for your camper. And so definitely something to check out and find out more about. Next slide. Oh, I'm so sorry. Actually, we could go back to the slide, or you could keep it here. I meant to share that we've had our open position for our Camp Farnsworth director out for a while now, and we finally filled it. And so we're very, very excited to have our Camp Farnsworth director on the call with us, so she can wave. Her name also says Sam Luchek right now, but her name's Andrea Briere, and she will be our Camp Farnsworth director, and she'll be at the open house. We'll be doing a big release in the next week or two to families and campers, but it's definitely a great person to get to know, especially if your camper is an overnight camper. Oh, perfect. Look at that. It will be a big wave. Okay. Great. And so speaking of adults and volunteers, we do have our outdoor skills trainings. If you're not already trained in our outdoor adventure workshop, we have moved it to the GS Learn platform, open for anyone to take. And it's a course online so that you can learn the basics and take your troop outdoors camping, do some simple cooking. We also have upcoming our basic outdoor living skills, which is that next step up to be able to take your troop and do some more advanced cooking and more outdoor skills, as well as longer camping trips. And so those are ways that we can help support you so that you can take your troop and do those kind of activities with them. We have locations coming up at all of our camps in April, May, and early June. So you could check those out if you're interested or have volunteers that want to take them as well. And next slide. Great. This one's a little smaller because we have a lot going on, but we have upcoming events, of course, that still have openings in April, and we have a lot coming up in May and June outside of our summer camps. So this is just a few to glance at. They have the dates there and location, as well as if they're partner programs, but really the best resource to find all of our events and activities and be able to search for the things that you're looking for is on our website. And so you could go ahead and check that out, both a calendar version and a list version on the website. And this is also a great way to get your troop outdoors and camping if you want some support and some facilitated activities while you're out for maybe the first or second time. Next slide. As as Trisha mentioned, we're so appreciative and so thankful for all of our volunteers. And so one of the things that we're doing this month, we have our virtual baking, that is that popular activity. And so we're doing a special volunteer version. So if you haven't heard, if you haven't signed up, definitely do so. You're going to be able to make some lava cakes. You're going to be able to just see other faces of other volunteers that work hard, maybe connect with some other people. And it's going to be led by our program facilitator, Laura, who is a very popular person, especially when it comes to all things food and our virtual programs. And so it's definitely a place to be on April 23rd from 6:30 to 8. And we hope you all can be there. And then I think that might be my last one. So I'll pass it back to Amanda.
Actually, I'll just jump.
Sam. I believe that Kelly is next.
I am. I was just going to jump right in. Thanks, Amanda. Yes, hello, everybody. I am Kelly Brown. I'm the Director of Fund Development at the Council. First off, just want to share just a little bit of info. Everyone on this call gives of their time with their volunteerism, with their volunteer service. We're so appreciative of all that you do. Many on this call also support the council financially with gifts that they make over the course of the year. And we are, again, just so appreciative. Another way that you can help support the council is through your own employer. So I would encourage all of you to reach out to your human resources office, or many companies have maybe a community engagement office or a community engagement person. So I would encourage you to reach out to that team and ask if your company offers a matching gift. We have so many companies within New Hampshire and Vermont that offer a matching gift. So your gift to the council of $50, some companies will do a 50% match, others will do a 100% match. So please reach out, determine if your company does offer some type of a matching gift. Another way is many companies work with a third-party platform like a Benevity to do an employee payroll deduction. So we receive many gifts through our members, our volunteers, our alumni, through certain platforms, like I said, through a Benevity, where they can do an employee giving that comes directly out of their payroll. And then we get on a monthly basis, we get a gift and the acknowledgement is sent to that donor. So unless it's marked anonymous, we know that you made that gift. So ask your HR team if they do something like that, if you can support a nonprofit of your choice through an employee payroll. Another way that you can help the council is through asking if your company promotes volunteerism. We can do one of two things. If your company does promote volunteerism, one, work with somebody in your company and we can do a day of giving. We can do a volunteer day at one of the camps. We're always looking for hands to help with painting and raking and getting our camps ready for the summer. So we have a lot of companies that will do team building and we'll do a company day and we will work with you to help coordinate that. Another way that we see a benefit through this volunteerism is many companies offer a monetary donation based on volunteer hours. One example is we just received something through, and now I'm gonna, Microsoft, excuse me. So Microsoft is an example of a company that will make a gift based on the amount of hours a volunteer will submit. So we may get an email to qualify those hours, which we do. We work with our volunteer team and we will qualify those hours. And then we receive a gift. So a couple of ways that you can work with your employer. And for those of you that are self-employed, that own your own company, or maybe you work for a smaller business, please reach out either through customer care or directly to advancement. I would love to talk to you about ways we can work out a sponsorship, ways that your small company or the company you own can work with us for several of the events that we have coming up over the course of the year. Are there any questions on any of these ways that you can work with your employer? Oh, I see Jenny. Yeah, win-win, Jenny. Perfect. Any questions based on how you can work with your employer? If you have questions on how to approach your HR team, please reach out. You can find me at advancement@girlscoutsgwm.org or through customer care. If you have a contact name, I would be more than happy to make that connection and reach out to your whoever makes those those decisions within your company. And there's just one more slide. So I did want to just spend a minute talking about our newly launched monthly giving program called the 1912 Society. Many of you saw this online. We promoted it on Facebook. Many of you may have received emails promoting it. There are many on this call that are actually taking part and have joined the 1912 Society, and we're so excited to have you. Thank you so much. With a minimum gift of $19.12, you can join the 1912 Society at the bronze level. And then with a gift of $41 per month, you can join at the silver level. And with a gift of $82 per month, you can join at the gold level. I will put the link. Oh, thank you, Rachel. So the link is in the chat that shows what all the benefits are. But this is really for us a regular monthly gift. It allows us to take a planned long-term approach and offers sustainability to the council. So these are 12-month commitments, and all the benefits and deeper details are on the link that Rachel posted. If anybody has any questions about the 1912 Society, I thank those of you that have joined in the last couple of weeks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kelly. I'm checking the chat real quick. I don't see anything else or any hands raised. And we have went very, very long tonight, and we are well past where we would normally be to do breakout rooms. I understand that many of you probably still have questions. We are happy to go ahead and hang out for a few more minutes, let everyone answer any questions that they may have. And of course, some staff will always stay after a few minutes to answer any questions that you may not want to ask in front of the entire group. And of course, you can reach out to us through customer care at any time, and we're happy to answer any questions and help you with anything you may have.
If you do need to head out, we can just remind people that our next meeting will be May 13th. So if you need to, if you're all set and don't have any questions, we'll see you in May.
Thank you, everyone.
If you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand or drop it in the chat and we'll go through. Kimberly?
Thank you. I took the OWL
Advanced Outdoor Living Skills?
Yes, online.
Wonderful.
There was
Oh, sorry, you did the outdoor, okay, the outdoor adventure workshop.
the free one.
Yes.
Okay.
The outdoor adventure workshop, great.
Yeah, so there was a section of it when I clicked on a link. I want to say it was for some safety portion of it that the link didn't work, so I had to just write something in, and I still have yet to hear whether I passed it or not.
Oh, okay,
And I
you.
spoke to somebody about it, but I have not heard back from them, which
Okay.
makes me a little sad.
Okay.
Because I have some other provider or other volunteers that need to take that class before our overnight in May at the ferry something rather.
Okay, Sam, can you take Kim's name down so you can someone on your team can look into where her status is? And it sounds like the link is maybe broken to the safety activity checkpoints.
Yeah, that one was
Yes,
not working.
okay. So
Yeah,
maybe
and
one of
I'm
the
sorry
updates-
for the delay of information. I think your name did come up and I thought it was being looked at, but we will get to the bottom of it and get back to you and be able to close you out so that you can get your other volunteers on board with it too.
Yeah, and I think one of my other volunteers took it. I'm not either Sarah or Brittany, but if you reach out, Sam, I can let you know their names.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you
definitely.
for letting us know about the link so we can get that fixed.
Mhm.
Great, thank you.
I have a couple of questions. So I received an email saying that our troop was one of the troops that was selected a winner for the cookie booth drawings. And so the three gifts that were offered. So a day at camp with use of a unit and program activity. Can you just explain that a little more to me, what that would entail?
Amanda, do you want to answer? Or you want me to jump in?
Either one, I can do it real quick. So what that is that would be use of like a cabin or a spot on the camp as well for the day, as well as an activity. That activity could be archery, where we'd provide an instructor for you to have archery for your girls that day. As an example, it would depend on which camp it is as to which programs are available. Because each camp is a little bit different, and it also depend on the time of year. Of course, we're not going to be able to offer swimming if it's something you want to do in November, but.
And how long, so I know we have to decide which one of those by no later than April 11th, but how long is the period of time that we can use it? I only ask because I'm going in for a hip replacement surgery next month, so I'm going to be down for a while. So I was just curious how long we have to use that.
I am happy to give you, I'm figuring it's probably going to be a couple months that you're going to be down. I'm happy to give you till December if that would help.
Okay, that would help, yeah, in trying to decide. Okay, so that was question number one. Okay, and then another question. So one of the girls that used to be in our troop wants to come back to our troop in the fall. And so I know she sold enough cookies this year to earn for her membership to be paid. And so I just received an email listing all the girls in our troop that had their membership paid for next year. Is it a big deal so I'm assuming that her troop leader is going to receive that letter saying, oh, welcome, they're registered for next year. Is it a big deal to transfer her from that troop to ours?
No, not at all. So either the parent can reach out or you can, and we can take care of that. We're also going to be sending all of the parents who earned the free membership renewal an email letting them know that it has been processed and that if they need to make any changes to their account, that they can go in and do that themselves, or if they want to change their troop registration, they can do that as well. So either way, it's easily done.
And the kiosk in the University Mall in Burlington, I went there to get patches and discovered that there are no patches there for my older girls, my ambassadors. Are you anticipating at some point there will be patches available there? Or are we always going to have to order through the Bedford store?
Are you looking for patches, like fun patches, or are you looking for badges?
No, badges, sorry.
Okay, badges. Let me talk to the retail team and find out what we can do for you, Cindy.
Okay, because she said, "Oh no, we don't have any badges for that age level." I was like,
Yeah,
really?
probably if no one has asked for any for a long time, things get sent back so that we don't have excess inventory issues. So let me look into that, and I can have Tabitha reach out to you if necessary to find out exactly some of the things you're working on, so we can make sure you have what you need.
Okay, and then one more question for you. When we were out selling cookies, we had a few girls, parents asking about Girl Scout memberships and, oh, where can we sign our girls up? And so I had a girl from Huntington, and I said, well, I don't know if there's a troop in Huntington, Vermont, but I'm sure there's one in Heinsberg. And then I have an in-home childcare, and one of my moms approached me last week saying, oh, I see everything you guys do for Girl Scouts, and I know you're into it. Somebody approached her, and she was told there are no younger like Brownie and Daisy troops in the whole Shelburne, Heinsberg, Vermont area. Is that true? And we don't have any younger girl. I know in Charlotte we don't. Our youngest right now is a junior, but is that true in the neighboring towns too? So they said the closest one is in South Burlington. I don't want to be giving out, wrong information, telling all these parents, oh, well, there's a troop here and there's a troop there.
It looks like Amanda's looking right now. I can see her eyes scanning her screen to try and find you the correct answer. So
Yes, Amanda Powell is looking right now. If it didn't show up online, it's a good possibility that it's because it was full. But Amanda is looking and we'll get you some answers because that off the top of my head does not sound correct either.
There's at least one I just found. It's a large multi-level troop with like many, many, many openings.
Would that be the
Including,
Heinsberg?
including younger girls, yeah.
Would that be the Heinsberg troop?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's what I said. And then she goes, oh no, they told her the closest one was South Burlington. I was like, oh, well. And you know if there's any in Shelburne?
You said
are actually
Shelburne?
from-
You said Shelburne?
Yeah, they're actually from
Okay.
Shelburne. And
See. Shelburne.
Cindy, while she's looking for that up, my name's Danae Woods, and I think I might have been the one that emailed you about having won that prize. So it's great to meet the connection or make the connection there. I'm also working on recruitment in your area as well. So perhaps I could follow up if you had any thoughts on, potential ideas for getting some recruitment events happening in that area. Maybe even around that pre-K, we could start that conversation too. Maybe see if we need to start a troop.
well, it's funny because our troop may disband after next year because a couple of our girls are graduating out of Girl Scouts. And so when I heard that, I was almost like, oh, but that younger age level is such a fun level too. And I thought, oh, do I dare start all over again? And then I thought, oh, I don't know. I have to think about this. I might be old enough to retire next year too.
Well, it sounds like you might have some parents that are involved, and maybe we could turn those into volunteers as well. I mean, we always need more volunteers, some troop leaders. So
Yeah, that's the problem. Like she said, one of the leaders said earlier, parents are willing to come help, but nobody wants to help plan or anything, and that is a lot when you have a multi-age troop. I find that myself. Okay, well, I think that was all the questions I had tonight. Thank you, ladies.
I didn't see a troop in Shelburne.
No. Okay. Okay, well, I will refer them to Heinsberg until they say, what are you doing? We don't have any more room.
I don't think they'll run out of room anytime soon. It is a large troop.
Yeah, I know it always has been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
So, are there other
night,
questions
everyone.
that we can answer?
This is Kate. I'm new to calling in here. I posted a question about meeting minutes, and I know you said you post the video. Is it possible for someone to write up like a quick summary, just like all the volunteers, work full time, and it'd be nice to kind of have a summary of key things for them if that was possible. I don't know if that
we
is.
can certainly add that to the list. Add it to
That
the
would be so awesome. I know they will be thrilled to hear that.
Yeah.
But,
The other thing to certainly mention to
yeah.
them is we try to make sure that nothing that we share during these meetings, other than the troop spotlight and obviously going into more detail about things, is also included in the newsletters, because we know, like you said,
Okay,
we're
got
working
it.
and we're busy, so
Yep,
we don't want this to be
got
the
it.
only avenue. But yes, certainly
Right, that makes sense.
we can add that.
Okay,
Well, that's a great
that
suggestion.
would be so
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you so much. I was trying to write them up while we were talking, and I'm like, I wonder if they'd be willing to do it anyway for everybody. Probably better than mine anyway. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Joanne?
Hello, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for welcoming me in. This is my first time here, and I'm so very excited to be part of my daughter's Girl Scout troop.
Welcome.
So I want to learn, I need more everything, experience, expectations, like what do I need to do? The training programs are very interested and I want to take them, but I'm wondering, can my daughter's father be involved with them as well? Because he's interested in helping out and volunteering as well.
Definitely. Yeah, so we would be probably the best step would be to have maybe Amanda reach out to go into more detail about the trainings that are offered and a lot of the other resources to help you get started. And she can also chat with you about your husband registering as a Girl Scout member and a volunteer. We have lots of dads and grandfathers and uncles and members of the community who aren't related at all to girls who volunteer, men and women. So we'd love to have both of you involved.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Joanne, I'll send you an email tomorrow so we can book a time to chat.
Okay, yeah, sure. I'll watch out for that email. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thanks.
Any other questions before we wrap for the evening? Go ahead. Yes. I apologize. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but if you can let me know, that would be great for future.
To speak. Okay. Hi. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So I was just wondering, you know, I just finished, I think, the second year of being the troop leader. I guess this is the first time I've experienced like a parent getting, you know, very intense. But I don't know if there's like, I don't know how, but I don't know. I got really like stressed out in the sense that you know, like earlier I was like so enthusiastic. We're gonna go, you know, like I'm gonna be a leader for so many years, and it really like shook me up. The experience that I was like, okay, let me like it took me a couple of days to kind of be like, okay, like I'm literally giving my time for free, and this is how, you know, this is what I'm receiving from one person. I don't know how, but I don't know what, or if it's just going to be experience that, you know, like that, you know, how to handle, or
Sure. I'm sorry you had that
yeah.
experience. They definitely should not have treated you that way, because you definitely are volunteering your time and your
Yeah.
energy, and to have been doing it for 2 years
Yeah.
already. I'm sure doing
Yeah.
a great job.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm sure that most of the volunteers in the room have had interactions of a similar vein. I think parents, you know, they get frustrated and impatient. Oftentimes the best is to, you know, find another time to have a conversation with them and explain the situation and maybe understand where they're coming from. I'm going to look to where Amanda, I think we lost, oh no, there's Amanda Powell. I'm going to offer you up again. I don't know, Amanda, if you know which community
Yeah.
to see, or if you want to reach out, you or Dee Dee, to provide.
I think Dee Dee talked to you about this last week, right?
Yeah, she
Okay.
did. I think it was I know they participated in everything last week, and yeah, I mean, it was okay. You know, I was normal and everything, but I don't know. It just feels a little bit like stressful.
Yeah. The good news is I'm one of those weird people that really kind of thrives in helping people get through this stuff, and I really enjoy having those harder conversations. So I will
Yeah.
pop you over an email as well, and you and I will get some time in the book so we can chit chat. We'll do some planning. We'll figure out some ways to help bring your stress down. And
Yeah.
I have a lot of tools I can pop right into your toolkit to kind of help you out with this parent.
Okay. Right.
I got you.
I know, I feel kind of stupid even saying this in a group of people.
Not at
No.
all.
Doing that kind of interaction is a skill, the same way it's a skill to learn how to do math or like learn how to do engineering. Not everybody has that skill. And the good thing about Girl Scouts is that we do have people that have that skill that like to teach it. So if you want to learn how to develop that, we can help you do that.
Okay.
I'm sure you
Okay.
volunteer because you care about other people and you want it to be a positive experience. So it's very normal that it would be stressful for you if someone was reacting that way. So Amanda will be a great resource to work through that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Right. Any other questions for tonight? Otherwise, we will wrap up, but please feel free if you have additional questions that come up and you want to Oh, sorry, Mel, are you raising your hand or waving goodbye?
No, I'm raising my hand.
Go
I
ahead.
was just, and if Strings or Flask is on, they're gonna know exactly what I'm gonna ask, but I'm just curious, in all of the capital repairs, I was wondering if, Strings, what is that building called?
Are you talking about the bunkhouse?
Yes, I was just wondering about if somebody, I can see Flask like shaking her head. If somebody has got looking at the stove and the ventilation on that capital repair list, because every time I've been at camp and we've done cooking, the fire department loves to come and visit us as well.
Okay. That wouldn't be on something for the long range property planning task group, but I will follow up with the staff and see with my team and see what they've looked at for it. Because
Thanks.
clearly we don't want the fire department coming. Strings, I'm assuming that there's been a report of this, an incident report.
There's no incident report, but I've notified Josh each time.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Last call. Well, if you think of anything else as you're stewing through what we covered, please feel free to reach out via customer care. We're happy to have a member of our team reach back out, and we will get the video and notes posted up. There's a page on the website that has all of the past recordings. So we'll add the recording plus a PDF of the summary there. So it's accessible for all. And then otherwise we will see you all in May.